Hey y'all, and welcome back to the most disturbing films of all time. Now this is a special episode, it's not part of the regular series and this isn't on the list, but considering the date and just how disturbing this movie is, I figured it was appropriate to put this between episodes 2 and 3. I'm skipping a lot of the funny stuff for obvious reasons, so let's talk about 102 Minutes That Changed America.
102 Minutes That Changed America, often referred to simply as 102 Minutes, is a 2008 documentary, later revised with more footage in 2016, compiling from various sources video and audio recordings of the events of September 11, 2001, better known as 9/11. The documentary plays this footage without commentary or edit in as close to chronological order as possible for a runtime of 1 hour and 42 minutes as the title suggests. This specific length of time being the same as the time from the moment the first plane hit the first tower until the time that the second tower collapsed. The footage used includes news videos, security footage, emergency recordings, radio dispatch and 911 calls, as well as personal phone calls and personal videos taken from denizens of New York and tourists that were unfortunate enough to be there that day.
I think at first it's important to note that although you can find this movie online, there's a lot of videos going around that are circulating on various video websites that share the same title. In fact, if you search on YouTube for this film's title, you'll get a different video that is not the one I'm talking about, though you can find this particular version. That aside, let's talk about 102 Minutes itself. I can imagine some people might struggle to call this a film proper because it's really just the footage itself, though I actually think that's its biggest strength and the source of its raw emotional weight. There's no commentary, there's no narration, there's no pontificating on the geopolitical causes and effects of 9/11, the political and historical event. Rather, the film just shows in the purest form the full spectrum of the human tragedy that was 9/11. I cannot begin to express just how disturbing and traumatic this film can be. Notable segments would include the numerous pieces that show the people jumping from the top of the tower after realizing that rescue was not an option, immediately followed by the numerous pieces of footage showing emergency personnel watching their neighbors plummet to their death, unable to do anything to stop it or help them. For Americans alive at the time, it doesn't spark the memories as much as it does give you a glimpse into the deepest recesses in the back of your brain, the things you forgot you remembered from that day. And for those who don't remember or who were geographically or culturally removed from Americans in that time, it's an excellent way of demonstrating and expressing just why this day has carried and continues to carry such a powerful grasp on the American psyche and memory. As with footage of any great tragedy, there's obviously the question of sensitivity, but I think because 102 Minutes lacks any commentary or additional contextualization, it's actually about as sensitive as one could be. It isn't propaganda, it doesn't have a message, it just is. It is Tuesday, September 11th, 2001 in New York City, preserved through the miracle, or in this case, the burden of relatively modern video and audio technology. I recommend you watch 102 Minutes, especially if you're not old enough to remember or if you're not from the United States. It perfectly explains why today there will be millions of people who are in mourning. I was torn on whether or not to put this on the ranking list because it's, not part of the series, but I ultimately decided that I think it is right to put it on the list. And here it is. I think the most disturbing takeaway from this is that knowing what I know about some of the later films in the series, this possibly won't stay at the number 1 spot. May the civilians and heroes that died that day, as well as the many more that died as a consequence, rest in eternal peace. Thanks for watching.